Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story about the time I almost got unalived in Rikers Island. Stay tuned.
JS corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boys' stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater, I'm here to address that. When it comes to storytelling, I'm the best at.
Pick him up, he got stabbed. Get him in the cell. Get him in the cell before he bleed out. Get some bandages. Come on. What up? We are back on my Jersey Street corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Now, I know you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, and y'all like, hold up. Jersey ain't never tell me nothing about that. You're absolutely right. Kinda. I did, but you'd have to go digging in the crates to find it. Now, I'm going to give y'all a better explanation of my journey through prison. I'm going to take y'all back to where it kind of all got started. And we talking about the young age of 17. Now, back in the day, y'all, it didn't matter if you had open cases, you was out on probation or parole, you had pending court cases, whatever. You was still going to do your dirt. At least I was. And that's exactly what I did. It didn't matter what state I was in, what town, whatever. I moved how I moved. Now, I'm from Brooklyn, y'all. Just thought I'd remind y'all. I'm originally from BK. So, I know a lot of people out there, got a lot of family out there. I didn't come out to jurors till I was in probably about, I want to say, toward the end of the 8th grade. So, yeah, I was still taking public transportation to school on my own in 6th grade. I was walking through the hood in 4th and 5th grade, all up in pink houses, everywhere. East New York, stand up. Now, I would go back and forth between Jersey and New York on a regular when I was 17. Once I got a driver's license, it was game on. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was crossing those bridges, riding dirty, period. And it was all fun and games until it wasn't one day. Now, we talking way back when. And I'm not trying to tell y'all, I'm old as dirt, but let's just say way back then, alright? Now, when I was 17 years old, marijuana was in no shape or form legal. It wasn't recognized by the feds. It wasn't recognized by any state. It was exactly highly illegal. And I loved it, y'all. I loved it with a passion, to the point where everywhere I went, I had me anywhere from a half to a whole zip. A zip is an ounce, for y'all that don't know. And I would regularly go visit my cousins in, New York. Be like, yo, bring this fire. Like, yo, we got some new shit out here, whatever. Y'all gotta try this. And I bring something out there, and I would never go back with it. If I brought it out there, I'd be leaving it out there. Well, one time I got hemmed up, y'all. I didn't drive my own vehicle. I got off in New York at Penn Station. And I'm getting ready to switch trains and head to Brooklyn. Well, I never made it. Never made it to Brooklyn, y'all. They got dogs, or at least they had dogs. They used to have dogs in the train station, which I was not aware of. And dudes in uniforms with big joints. I ain't gonna say it on YouTube, but big joints they can aim. You know what I mean? And dogs start going crazy. I ain't have it wrapped up no special way or no pepper on it or double wrap, none of that crazy stuff. Back then, there was no such thing as a food wrapper, to take the smell away and nothing. You just chanced it. Well, I didn't even have it hidden, y'all. It was simply put in my book bag. I get off, dogs going crazy, and boom, they got me. I'm cased up. Now, from here is where I got one of the worst lessons in my life. From that day, y'all, I was only going to New York to spend a day there. I was only going to spend a day. Well, I ended up stuck in New York at 17 years old for the next 7 months. And it got serious, y'all. Mind you, I had pending charges in New Jersey, a whole probation, all of that. I was going to make it back hopefully in time, before probation would get wind of it. That's what I thought. But things didn't happen to go my way. So I got booked, ended up crossing that bridge of pain. That meaning the bridge headed to Rikers Island was referred to as the Bridge of Pain. And it didn't hurt to cross that bridge. It hurt when you got across that bridge and knew there was no way for you to get back across that bridge because you was never getting outside that gate. It's been a few people that tried to get out of there and most of them ain't make it. The rest, who knows? Now, when you headed down to Rikers, more than likely, you're going to be on the bus with some goons. You're going to see dudes with tattoos all over their face, gangs, tattoos, everything. Black, Hispanic, whatever. You're going to be on the same bus with them. And they're going to be sizing you up the whole ride. Excuse me, y'all. And if you smart, you're doing the same thing. Because you don't know what's going to break out when you get off that bus. People got to make a name for themselves. People feel disrespected. You never know what could be going through some of these guys' minds. And yeah, y'all, a lot of the people locked up on Rikers Island are literally losing their minds. Now, when you first get off the bus and, there's a yellow line there, you got to come up to the line, stop. You literally got to listen to every single word that these officers say. I've seen people get the daylights beat out of them for not following instructions. These officers not going to tell you more than once. They're going to say it, and then there's going to be action. And it's going to be violent action. I've seen inmates go to the infirmary with their heads split wide open from a walkie-talkie. Yeah, getting bust in their head. Now, soon as you get into the prison or jail, it's not even a prison, y'all, but it feels like a prison. It's a jail. You get into the jail. It's like you in a kennel with a whole bunch of dogs barking. From all different angles. That's all you hear. And you trying to concentrate and just maintain. Keep your eyes forward. Look more or less down. You don't want to get into staring matches. You don't want to get into it when you walk in. You got to figure the place out first. And that's going to be a key part in surviving. Now, you're going to get pressed from the rip. I'm telling you right now, YNs, if you end up in Rikers, hopefully they closing that joint down. But if you end up in there, you're going to get pressed from the door. And depending on what you say, it's going to be something either way. You're going to have to fight either way. There ain't no getting around it, even no matter who you know, what you is, whatever. Even if you are a gang member, you're going to have to fight to prove it when you get in there with those gang members. Anyway, and it's brutal, y'all. The beatdowns are crazy. Now, as soon as I went in there, celly I got celled up with, black dude from Brooklyn. I don't know him, never seen him before, and he telling me to run down and like, yo, where you from, and yo, who you know, da da da. So at the time, either you was down with a gang or you just knew some people. You couldn't come up in there non-affiliated and get respect. So the only name that I knew to shoot out was my cuz. He was Big Blood in Brooklyn. So I shot his name out. Boom. I know his name hold weight. I know it's ringing bells out there in the streets because he been putting in work since, early. So, dude, like, I. And side note, let me just tell you, y'all, you can get slept real quick. That's when they sleepwalk you. Now, my bunkie, let's make a long story short, sold me out real fast. Soon as I shot that name off, he recognized my cuz's name, and he went to the set that he deal with. I'm not putting that out there, all that, because for one, my face on this camera, and my big cuz is still locked up, but he's not in New York, so whatever. Anyway, I shot the name out there. He told his peoples, told me, yeah, well, that's what's up. Sleptwalked me. Now, I'm going to mess hall one day, and all these dudes from this set approach me, and I'm like, oh shit, yo, what's good? And they're like, oh, so you such and such cuz, word. Well, that's the op. Well, we don't mess with that nigga. We don't mess with him. And I'm like, oh shit, damn bunkie. So now I'm squaring up with all these dudes. There's about 5 of them. And I'm trying to keep them up off me or whatever. Ain't nobody, around know me in the vicinity just yet. Ain't nobody know what it was. So now we start squaring up. I'm taking 2 of them on. Boom, boom, boom. They coming from all over. I'm catching elbows. I'm catching punches. They getting me, y'all. Now, it would take me to get stabbed. I got stabbed 3 times in Rikers. Twice in the hands, once in each hand, and once in my backside over here. I'm not gonna even mess with YouTube and try and show you the scar. And I don't know if you can see. You probably can't, but right there, blade went through, almost through my palm, through this one, and through this one right here. It went up and up here, which I got permanent damage from, if you can see, in the bone right here. The knife really went up and it messed up one of my tendons. So anyway. Now, once that happened, once the last one, these 2, the adrenaline was pumping. I'm fighting. I didn't even realize it. I see blood, but I don't know if it's my blood or their blood or whatever. I'm punching. Boom, boom. People trying to kick me and everything from the back. Now, mind you, it was 5 of them, y'all. Somebody came around and got me with a poker in the side. It had to be a little joint. It couldn't have been too big because it didn't go in too deep. Pause. And boom. But it was enough to hit my nerve, and that joint hurt. And I'm like, oh. And then right away, now another group in the prison, it got their attention because they see this group, which actually is they ops. And they're like, who they into it with? And they making sure that's not one of theirs or whatever. And then somehow the word was spread around that they jumping on old boy because his homeboy, his cousin, is such and such. And when they said the name, they said, what? That was my cuz clique. That was his gang. They got up immediately, ran down, intervened in the situation, started stomping them dudes out, got me over into a cell, got some, ripped up the bed sheets, start tying that joint up tight on me. And honestly, I don't know if that's how I, didn't unalive or what, because that joint wouldn't stop bleeding. I don't know if it was my liver or what that they had almost, or they did rupture or whatever. But every now and then I still have pain back there. But that's why I didn't bleed out in that mess hall. Because these guys pretty much saved my life. Now, it was a lot of questionable jokers in the background, additional to those 5 inmates that assaulted me and tried to take me up out of here. And I've seen some of them, in passing, and they didn't even know that I seen them, and I could have got the jump on them. But me, I made it my mission to try and change my life. And we talking years later, because from there I went to prison in Jersey and so on and so on, North Carolina, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I made it my mission to change my life somewhere down the line, but it took a lot out of me to stop committing crime. And that's how y'all got me here on YouTube, telling y'all these stories. So, when y'all don't check them stories out, and y'all don't go and like and subscribe, oh, it hurts your boy. It hurts your boy, because I'm giving y'all this flavor, y'all. I'm giving y'all these real prison stories that you can or cannot relate to. But I guarantee they're very entertaining to some people. Remember, y'all, another person's garbage becomes another person's gold. Yeah, y'all. Now, what they say, y'all, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. Well, I guess I was playing a stupid game because I got a stupid prize. My grand prize for getting stabbed up was 30 days in the box. And this was not just regular box. This box was referred to as the Why Me box, because there's a story that goes way back about inmates yelling out of the box, "Why me? Why me?" after being in there for 90 days, 100 days, So let me give you a rundown on the box. The Why Me box was a small cell. It was all gray. And when they paint everything one color, y'all, it's meant for one reason alone: to mess with your mind, your mental. When you start seeing the same color in a room over and over again, everything starts to blend in. It's all gray. Metal bunk nailed to the floor. Nothing moves in the bunk. You got a slim little window that you could barely see out of because it's tinted so you can't. And there's nothing coming down by you. There's no human contact. There is a sliding door, a metal door, not bars, a door that is impenetrable. You could bang on it. You could yell at it. Ain't nobody hearing you. Ain't nobody coming to your aid. Now, have you ever seen a cartoon with, ants walking like an army of ants, and they carrying food on their back, and how it look funny how the ants is going up and down, up and down? Well, picture this, y'all. You sitting on your bunk, and you looking at the floor, and you see little crumbs moving on the floor, and you're like, what the hell? I ain't dropped no food. I eat all my food, because you restricted on commissary back in the Why Me box as well. You can't order nothing, and you relying on the state food to live. So what you think crumbs moving mean, y'all? It's worse than ants, cockroaches, y'all. Yeah. They go up. They don't just go straight. They go up the wall. And if you sleep with your mouth open, they'll drop right in your damn mouth. Yeah. Life in Rikers in the hole is rough. Now, mind you, I know y'all probably like, damn, what you get locked up for? They put me back there because it's easier to put me back there and let me heal up than to explain my wounds to the warden or anybody else that might have questions. So The easy alternative is just to lock the inmate up. Here. Give him what he needs. Here. So they give you some bandages. They might give you a little peroxide or something. Tell you deal with it. And when you can prove that you all good, they'll probably let you up out of there. If that's the only thing they was holding you there for. Now, I've seen some brutal things happen back there in lockup. I've seen COs beating inmates bloody, like beating them belligerent. Brains hitting the wall. Yeah. I've seen them stomp inmates out, hog-tied. That's how they brought me to the hole, y'all. Stabbed or not, they done grabbed me up, got my arms behind my back, my feet crossed. They carry me out the cell, y'all. Or out the pod. Yeah. You don't want to get locked up in a place where you have no control over your life whatsoever. Stay the hell out of the prison system, y'all. Because if you ever find yourself in somewhere as brutal as Rikers Island, your life literally is on the line. I've seen assaulted officers. Yeah, I've seen 4 inmates teach an officer, a female officer, a lesson because they assumed she was a snitch. They assumed she was doing her job and informing other officers and the warden about activities in the pod. They assaulted her sexually, y'all. Yeah. You talking about the place where dreams are made. Prisoners in Rikers Island go crazy back in that hole. Prisoners in population in the pod get extorted, robbed, and stabbed every single day. And to make it out, just to make it out is a blessing in itself. You heard what I said. I got stabbed 3 times in Rikers Island. My cuz, he almost got unalive. He got slashed up, his whole chest slashed up. They just missed his neck. So when I tell you it's a brutal place that you don't want no parts of, trust me. Me, myself, personally, I have never, ever committed another crime in New York City since then because the laws are brutal. And the prisons and jails are even worse. Alright, y'all, listen. I'm going to get up out of here. This was just a quick story, just to give y'all a little insight on where it all started. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner. This is the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. And with that, I'm out.